Hello and welcome back to The Gyves Gamers. I'm huge into the industrial side of the gameplay, and people who have watched me throughout the years know this. All the economic talks that we've had here on the channel. Everybody knows here that I'm definitely for player traders over NPCs. I want to support the industrial player-based community. I think that they need a voice. It's important that we have a fair system and we have a true supply-demand economy. We always talk about the 90-10 split, how 10% of us are going to make up this market as far as the player base versus the NPCs. We've talked about that plenty in the past, and there's a lot of controversy involved in this. But right now, this video, this Around the Verse that I watched most recently, basically showed me that they're working on the tools. We're in the very beginnings of the SC economy. We're definitely at the very beginning phases. They're creating the tools that we need. They're creating the basic marketplace tools that we're going to use to place our buy and sell orders, and I think they're doing a very good job of it. I think that SIG is actually setting up a very nice skeletal system. It's kind of like in the phase that we're at right now. We're just setting up the framework right now, and they're doing a really good job of it. So I'm very proud of the work being done in that area and the focus that the people at SIG are putting in this area, because over time, really the only way we can get this true economy is to continually talk about this and make sure that we are getting the economy that we all want. There's a lot of people who are worried they don't want like exploits or like an EVE type based market. EVE has a wonderful market. A lot of people would disagree with me. It has a wonderful framework, but there's a lot of manipulation and there's a lot of non-policed actions in EVE that makes their market sometimes a little bit sketchy, and some people have like a bad taste in their mouth with that. A lot of the true industrialists, the traders and the manufacturers, have no problem with that. So there's a kind of a rift between people who say this is not really fair, this market's not really fair, and other people who are looking at it that play EVE that say this is exactly what I want. So we gotta kind of cater to both of these people in Star Citizen. Chris has already told us, hey, I don't want the actions of the players to go quote unquote overboard. So there's a lot of questions I have going into this evolution of this real economy that we want. We want true supply demand economics. We all want that as industrialists. Whether you're a miner or you're a trader, you want to make sure that your orders are getting filled and that you don't have to compete so heavily with NPCs that you're really not getting the money that you deserve for the work that you put in. According to the algorithm that's going to be in place that Chris talks about with the NPCs, and that have no fear that the NPCs will adjust due to supply and demand economics. I'm a little bit worried about that. So my question is this, although players make up 10% of the market alongside NPCs, how authentic will the Star Citizen market be? Chris has mentioned that players will have an effect on the economy due to their actions in the market, but he doesn't want it going overboard, as I said before. So will the 90% NPC economic buy-sell order actions truly balance out player buy-sell order actions if, say, Test Squadron, currently at 17,000 members, decides to get involved? You got a large organization, and if they focus on, which they're going to have an industrial wing, and Test is just one example, but Test Squadron going in, imagine that they corner the market on one particular weapon or weapons, and they place sell orders out. They buy low, they go and they turn it around, they sell it against the NPC, the 90% NPC market, but they put it at such a price that it's lower than NPCs. The NPCs will then adjust accordingly. Hopefully that's how it's designed, so that it's not such a huge deal. But I'm wondering how that is going to actually work out, the mechanics of it as we go. We don't really know right now. We're not even close to that phase right now. But that's a question I have in the future, because that's a big thing. If NPC buy-sell orders can't adjust properly to these large organizations' economic actions, will SIG come in to police the actions in any way? That's another question. I'm not quite sure that they should. If they do come in, it kind of be very similar to kind of how the Federal Reserve reacts to pricing in the markets, or in the American markets right now, and they get involved and they police it. So like maybe that's an okay thing, you know, maybe that's an okay thing. But then, you know, like I don't want to turn off the industrialists. You don't want to turn off the industrialists. And for people that are saying, well, that's okay because most of the shit that I'm going to buy or sell is going to go to the NPCs anyhow, then I think you're factoring out the people that are interested in this type of play, which there are plenty of these types of people that are interested in playing the game this way. And I don't want to turn those people off because then you're actually hurting the community. You're saying that these people aren't important, and then you've kind of lost a demographic. You've lost a large audience, and we need people. We need people to want to be interested in the game. We want to grow the game. We want the game to be successful, and you have to actually, you know, keep these people interested. It's a very important aspect to making the game successful. And so like when we get into this talk, what I really think that I'm coming away with is like, how important are we going to be as the players in the market? You know, Chris is saying we're going to be important, but we're not going to be really super important because he doesn't trust the player base to, you know, he's expecting the player base to completely F up the markets. That's exactly what he's doing. But I think true supply demand economics filters that out, and that's a huge thing. You know, like true supply demand economics filters the exploitations out eventually. Even in Eve, that's how it happens. And I think unless people are really involved in it, they don't see it. And I think that's what happens. Like a lot of the players who are worried about player driven markets are saying, you know, oh God, they're going to exploit the market. It's going to be a horrible thing if they do that. I don't want it. I've seen it in Eve, and I don't want that. And they're scared of it. And the interesting thing is, I think a lot of players that look at it like that don't play the game as an industrialist, don't play the game as a trader, don't play the game as a miner, don't play the game as somebody who's directly involved with that type of gameplay. So that's the kind of stance on it, and that voice is loudest. That voice is loudest because that's the majority of the gamers out there that play the game are playing it to blow things up, to get in fights, to have a good time in that respect, which I do. I love that as well. But I also appreciate having a very robust and healthy industrial aspect to this game. Like I think that's really important to make the game successful, and I think the voice needs to be out there in support of you know, being pro player trader, being pro player industrialist. I'm really for player who are into being entrepreneurs and industrialists. And I think we have to kind of voice up a little bit, or we're going to get kind of squashed down in this. And it's still that stage of the game design where it's okay to talk like this out loud and say, hey, Sig, Chris, please, you know, think about us, because it's an important aspect to making this game healthy. And I don't know, you guys let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. It's definitely an interesting topic for me. I hope you guys are having a good time here on the channel. I will be appearing on the Astro Pub this Saturday, so check me out at 6. And it's just great becoming involved with the Star Citizen community in such a way where like I get to just talk with other people and have a good time. And I hope you guys are enjoying the Star Citizen content here on this channel. I very much do believe in this game. I do believe that it will come out, and it's like Chris has said, this is not a sprint. It's not even a marathon. It's like a trek around the world. So, you know, people just have to be patient and eventually it's going to come out. But it's going to take a long time, guys. It's going to take a long time, but I'm here for the long haul for all of you here. And thanks for watching another episode here. I hope I made it interesting for people that aren't industrialists. They probably tuned out a long time ago, but for those that are still here, you guys are the hardcore industrialists. I appreciate you guys. Take some time out, help us out. We're having a giveaway. Check out the channel and check out my Patreon page if you dig the content here on the channel, because I really need the support, guys. So, you know, if you've got like $1 or $2, pledge it and help the channel out, help the channel's growth, and help us get more content on the channel, which is something I will always continually and consistently do for you guys. I will see you on the next vid.